Namaste. I want to express myself today on being a global citizen. S-I-T-I-Z-E-N. I was born and raised in the USA. So technically, I'm a U.S. citizen, and I have not yet renounced my citizenship. I consider myself a Chicano de Aztlán, which is an ancient name for what we used to call our land. I love the American people. I love people in general. That's what makes life on this planet bearable. Yet I have a lot of criticism about the ruling powers that control the global economy, that control, in many ways, the minds of the masses via their programmed media, the consciousness that's been embedded into the psyche of people, especially in the USA. We are raised to believe in a make-believe world where we live in a democracy with liberty and justice for all, and the myth of the founding fathers who were racist slave owners, seeing that the nature of U.S. history, the way it was created, the U.S. was created on the basis of a double genocide. Genocide against indigenous native people, the genocide against African people. And white racism is embedded into the whole psyche of the American people. Not only among white people, but among wannabe non-white people. You know, the colored man who wants to be white. There's a lot of sickness and insanity going on in the U.S. society. So I'm here to help clarify matters. I'm here to raise consciousness and to help explain connected reality. In connected reality, we comprehend that all our realities are interconnected at one level or another, to one degree or another. There is no single separate reality out there. You know, I am in the cosmos, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the solar system, upon Mother Earth, California, Sacramento, in my bunker. That's all connected. When Pharaoh Obama does counter-revolutionary evil actions in other countries, like say Yemen, that affects all of us. That engenders hatred among other people for actions of the U.S. regime. So to pretend that we are just isolated in the USA and have nothing to do with what the U.S. regime does in our name is an incorrect way of thinking. When fascism talks about American interests, they're not talking about your interests. They're talking about the interests of the ruling class, the Wall Street bankers, the multi-billionaires, not you and your little wallet. So we're throwing out all this fascist propaganda, through the White House and through their fanatical flunkies, in Congress, Senator Feinstein and the other fanatical flunkies. And see, we're at the point now where we're so brainwashed into believing the lies emanating from the White House that we don't question stuff as we should. I believe that we still need to reach out to, the American people. Yet, as a global citizen, I'm concerned about all people around the planet. A major obstacle to unity among the so-called progressive movement in the USA remains white racism. And white people hate to hear about this. They'd rather talk about the whales or the dolphins or football game. Yet, understanding the passive, obedient slave mentality of the American people, I need to reach out to other people in other countries who hopefully hear my voice, and understand that what the fascist regime does is not what we as U.S. citizens condone. So just, we need to distinguish between a given regime or government and the people who live under that power. So we don't end up hating specific people when really it's the government in power that we need to criticize. We are ruled by insane, power-hungry, mad fascists. It's not the old German Nazi SS type fascism. This is a unique brand of fascism we're facing here. Keeping in mind that fascism is when the corporations have actually taken over the government through coup d'etat, through infiltrating the whole economic system. And we need to get rid of cartoon type understandings of what fascism is all about. Fascism is basically when you have a government or a regime that is directly and indirectly controlled by big corporations. It's not that complex at heart. Who controls the economy? Does the government? If it doesn't, then who does? Corporations do. So we need to really be mindful of the reality that we're in and understand that what the American people allow to go on in their name, the evil that's allowed to go on in their name, has karma on them. You know, in that context, I'm speaking to the American people. Because I consider myself an American. I'm a Chicano de Aztlán. I'm in a way different state of mind than you could be. Thank God. The knocking on the wall. So we need to take a good look at what's going on in the world, and at the same time have a keen understanding of U.S. history, how we got to this point, you know, where we're going from here. At the rate we're going, I seriously doubt humanity will outlast this century, because we have created such great imbalances in nature and in the environment that we may not be able to address while we can. We may not even outlive this decade because of the threat always of nuclear warfare. It's not to scare anybody like Alex Jones likes to do, who he's an idiot, but to just make us aware that, you know, what we allow to happen without us protesting, without us criticizing, without us speaking out against, without us standing up against, what we allow to happen in our name can boomerang back on us as U.S. citizens here inside the USA. So do what you can to change. Change the way you comprehend reality. You know, see yourself as a global citizen, not just as a U.S. citizen. You know, raise your consciousness above nationalism. You know, study up on German National Socialism. Study up on American National Socialism. See, ideally, socialism, for it to truly blossom and take effect and flourish, must be global. So in that sense, there is no true, totally socialist society. Now when you have monopoly corporate capitalism controlling the world's economy, the Marxists are mad. Anarchists, to me, don't even have a sound ideology, don't even have a sound alternative to the political economy. I relate more to what Huey Newton talked about in terms of intercommunalism. Where under empire there are no nations. We're actually colonies, internal or external, and we want to strive towards having an interconnected collection of communities around the world who work together with the available resources that we have to help create a kind, just, fair, global, intercommunal society. So, a lot of what I'm saying here is way beyond the comprehension of ordinary folks. Because remember, we have been programmed to have a certain belief system in the USA here, and globally, including the insanity of left versus right, which should be more a matter of right versus wrong. So I want to make a point here in this video to think of yourself as a global citizen and unite the family of humanity together. We need to settle our differences. Get rid of racism. Get rid of a fear of criticism. And get rid of the fascist mentality in us. That slave mentality that, yes, massa, yes, massa. And work on your spiritual liberation. This is ultimately a spiritual journey. Namaste.